My favorite part of the New York City trip was getting to visit Shomer Chadash Chapels in Brooklyn, New York. It is an Orthodox Jewish funeral home where we met with an incredible rabbi who gave us a tour of the funeral home as well as so much insight into the kind of services they provide for their community. We were able to see the Shomer room where the Shomer watches over the deceased loved one, as well as the room where the Tahara rituals performed by the Shevra Kadisha. It was such an incredible experience because Shomer Chadash Chapels is unlike any funeral home that you would see here in San Antonio, and as funeral directors and embalmers, this experience is going to help us better serve our Orthodox Jewish community.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Garcia and I am the current treasurer for RSG. My favorite part was definitely the Mahayana Buddhist temple that we visited. We had the honor of being able to gain insight into their cultural practices as well as their funerary practices and learning more about their culture and being able to connect that with how I practice my Mexican heritage here at home.
Hi, my name is Alexandria Poor and I'm the Vice President of Rosa Gamma at San Antonio College, a part of the Mortuary Science program. And my favorite part of the New York trip was the Mass that we attended at St. Patrick's Cathedral. And I grew up Catholic, and it was really nice to not only be able to see a cathedral that intricately built, but also just to have such a rich history and also to be in the middle of a city like that as well. You don't get to see a lot of that down here in Texas, so it really was an enlightening and educational experience while also helping me kind of connect more spiritually too.
I'm Natalia, and I was one of the students that got to go to New York with RSG. For me, my favorite part was getting to experience all the different cultures that were there. I know that they say New York is a melting pot, but getting to experience it firsthand was very interesting to me. Overall, this was an amazing trip, and I'd like to thank RSG and everyone that helped put it together.
Hello everybody, my name is Annie Kelly. I am the secretary for RSG. Today I'm just going to share my favorite parts about the trip. I'll try to not make it too long. One of which was the Greek Orthodox shrine. It was called St. Nicholas's because it was a very heavy experience being able to be under the roof of a building rebuilt after the fall of one of the towers during the attacks on 9/11. We were also given the opportunity to see and touch a first-class relic. As a Catholic, I was kind of geeking out a little bit. It was St. Nicholas's right hand. It was incredible to be able to see that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aubrey. My favorite parts of the New York trip that we had was definitely when we toured the Orthodox Jewish funeral home. That was very fascinating, very interesting. I learned so much. Even things that we weren't able to learn in class or it was hard to describe in class. It was so interesting and amazing to see in real life practice.
Hello, I'm Paul Rodriguez. We're here at Mahayana Temple. Something that really stuck out with me today was the whole concept behind reincarnation. It almost feels like it's a little bit more lenient in comparison to other religions. And they explained to us that basically you have, once you pass away, you come back and you get another try at becoming enlightened, getting that nirvana state of mind. And I just really thought that was something special and unique about Buddhism.
We visited a funeral home in Brooklyn in which I had connected with, and the owner's name is Pat. And Pat owns a funeral home in Brooklyn that also has an Islamic funeral home services attached to it. At Schaefer Funeral Home, our students got to see really how privileged they are because the funeral home where Pat owns is a tiny funeral home, yet they service 4,000 families each year.
Give me a minute, I'll get my... Oh, this is my Texas hat. I got it on already. See, the T is for Texas, the arrowhead's from Oklahoma, San Antonio, right? Oh, and where are you from? Where are all the Texans? Holy cats!
We are, they're mortuary students. I'm a group of 11 mortuary students.
Oh, all right, okay. Well, actually, the Brooklyn attitude is the same thing as the Texas attitude, which is basically, let's cut through the you-know-what and get the job done. Okay, only you guys use less words and ammunition for better shots.
We went ahead and took the students to the graves of Alexander Hamilton and Eliza Hamilton at Trinity Church Cemetery. Students were able to see one of the most historical cemeteries in New York City. We took these students to 9/11 Memorial. We got to see photos, memorials, loved ones sharing what those people were like. It's very similar to what we see at funeral homes during celebrations of life, and where family members will go up and talk about the decedent and share their memories, and it's something that the 9/11 Museum has incorporated since that tragic day. Another place that we visited was Museum of Natural History, and that museum was just a kind of an educational place to take our students, and in that students were able to visit exhibits that were related to funeral culture and funeral practices, and so it was super neat to experience that as well.
Hey guys, so it's Alex. Here we have one of the native communities that are in South America, and these little separate areas over here blocked off by these twig fences typically were where they buried their dead, and they practice bone burial. So they would bury their loved ones, and they would bring offerings to them, and then after a while they would end up digging up the remains and the bones of their loved ones, and then they would wash the bones clean to help represent their loved ones entering eternity and being clean in the afterlife. So it's really cool to see an exhibit of it here in person too.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Maginot, and I am a student of the Mortuary Science program at San Antonio College. I would like to thank Dr. Jam for believing in the program and believing in our trip to New York City and providing funds for the students to attend New York. I would like to thank Mr. Lopez for making phone calls and opening up doors for the students to be able to see funeral homes that would not have been granted to us without his help. Thank you so much.
I also want to thank Dr. Jam, thank you to the Office of Student Life, the committee members of Student Activity Fee, and thank you to my program coordinator and department chair for believing in me and believing that I could take a group of 11 students and trusting me with what we did. And thank you so much to Dr. Moreno, Ms. Mena, for your belief in me, and I'm grateful for all that you have done in helping us get this trip completed. I'm very happy with what we accomplished, everything that we said that we wanted to do, and no matter how many times I go back to New York with a group of students, I can never replicate the experiences that we had. There's certain things that we did that cannot be replicated, and because of that, I'm very, very happy and very pleased, fulfilled with what our students were able to witness and what we were able to accomplish in such a short time. There's so much more that we experienced and that we did together that I will forever hold close to my heart. And these group of men and women that went with me on this trip will always hold a special place in my academic and professional career. And I'm thankful for their participation, and I'm thankful for their professionalism in this trip. And I look forward to continuing to do this with students in the near future.